but I didn't know. I knew he was athletic. I didn't know he was that skilled.
This is a good player. Interesting young player.
I'm the biggest Jonathan Kuminga fan in the world.
We're still available for that. Kuminga! Right-handed hammer!
Jonathan Kuminga's journey to the NBA has been an interesting one. From watching highlight reels of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James at local internet cafes in Congo, Kuminga's become the youngest player to start an NBA playoffs game since 1971 and a regular quick fix for an injury-stricken Golden State Warriors team. But despite these achievements, a lot of questions have been asked about his skills and whether he has what it takes to be in the starting lineup of the Warriors. In today's video, we'll discuss these talking points and answer the all-important question: how bad is Jonathan Kuminga actually? Less than a decade ago, Jonathan Kuminga lived in the Democratic Republic of Congo without an easily accessible court, gym, and other basic amenities that are meant to aid the development of a basketball player during his formative years. In fact, his only chance of learning the basics of the game at the time was by watching NBA highlights on YouTube at internet cafes and practicing on an outdoor dirt court near his home. However, he had a dream to play in America's premier basketball league, and not even the lack of basic amenities and proper coaching could deter him from achieving this. So in 2016, he moved to the United States as a 13-year-old with a dream that was much larger than his broad shoulders. His first stop was at Huntington Prep in West Virginia, but his nomadic start to life in the U.S. saw him attend 3 high schools in 3 years. Kuminga's dynamic physical attributes and exceptional talent were obvious at every step of the way, and it was no surprise that he emerged as a 5-star recruit with offers from 5 different colleges. However, he snubbed college basketball and instead chose to play in the NBA G League Ignite, a decision he'd forever be thankful for. In the 13 games he played in the G League Ignite, Jonathan Kuminga struck 4 double-doubles and averaged 15.8 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 2.7 assists per game. Kuminga's performance definitely caught the attention of NBA scouts. By the time he declared for the 2021 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors were happy to select him. The Warriors were confident that they had found a gem who could become an all-star someday. Kuminga's rookie season was underwhelming. He started just 12 games and averaged 9.3 points, 0.9 assists, and 3.3 rebounds during the regular season. His postseason stats weren't any better, as he averaged 5.2 points, 0.5 assists, and 1.7 rebounds across 16 games. That was to be expected anyway, considering he was joining a team that had the likes of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and a red-hot Jordan Poole. The next season was a bit better. He started 16 of the 67 games he played in during the regular season, averaging 9.9 points, 1.9 assists, and 3.4 rebounds. Due to the injuries among the team and Draymond Green's suspension, Kuminga's got more playing time this season. His average playing minutes went up from 20.8 minutes in the 2022-2023 season to 21.7 minutes in the first 3 games of the 2023-2024 season. During that time, the youngster averaged 11 points, 0.7 assists, and 4.3 rebounds per game. As the season progressed, his stats have become even better. In November, Kuminga's average playing minutes dropped to 19.7 minutes per game, but his impact on the games was just about the same, with an average of 11.3 points, 1.1 assists, and 2.8 rebounds per game. In December, his playing minutes went up to 24.4 minutes per game, and it reflected in his stats as he averaged 14.2 points, 1.5 assists, and 5.4 rebounds across 13 games. This includes dropping 24 points against the Oklahoma City Thunder and 22 points against the Washington Wizards. These numbers suggest that Kuminga is gradually coming into his own. So far this season, Kuminga has averaged 14.6 points, 2.5 assists, and 5.2 rebounds in 15 games as a starter. And when you consider his overall season average of 13.6 points, 1.5 assists, and 4.3 rebounds per game, Kuminga is ranked as the 3rd highest scoring player on the team. With this level of contribution, you'd expect the coach to give him more minutes on the court. To be fair to Steve Kerr, Kuminga's actually played more minutes this season. In fact, he's played a total of 902 minutes this season, and he's only 1 start away from equaling his total number of starts last season. However, the kid feels like he deserves even more time on the court, and honestly, we can't blame him. After playing 34 minutes and contributing 19 points in the win against the Orlando Magic, Steve Kerr gave Kuminga only 19 minutes in the next game against the Denver Nuggets. In his limited playing time, Kuminga contributed a respectable 19 points and helped the Warriors build an 18-point lead. But Kerr decided to pull him out of the game with 5 minutes and 48 seconds left in the third quarter. To make things worse, the youngster didn't play a single minute in the fourth quarter, as the Warriors blew their healthy lead and collapsed to a 127-130 loss against the reigning defending champs. Of course, he wasn't too happy about that decision, and he took his frustration to the press. But that was probably the wrong thing to do. While his agitation for more playing time was valid, his decision to speak to the press about it created a huge distraction for the team. It brought back memories of when Stephen A. criticized him in August of 2022.
I'm worried about Kuminga. I'm hearing too many things about him off the court in terms of his head, the level of discipline that he lacks. You understand?
With tensions rising, Steve Kerr called for a face-to-face talk between himself and Kuminga, and after the meeting, the youngster said there was no beef between him and the coach. In the next game against the Pistons, Steve Kerr played Kuminga for a season-high 36 minutes. And unlike the game against the Nuggets where he sat out the fourth quarter, Kuminga played every single minute in the fourth quarter against the Pistons. His stats on the night weren't exactly explosive, as he only contributed 11 points, 1 assist, and 6 rebounds. However, the team won, and everyone was happy. Well, except the media, who tried to spark the fire of controversy in the post-game interview. Steve Kerr was well prepared to answer their questions, though.
And we have a lot of guys who are capable of playing, and I have very difficult decisions to make each and every night.
Steph Curry showed sympathy for Kuminga. However, he believes the youngster also did a few things wrong.
He's not wrong in being upset and pissed off, wanting to play, probably should have played. Not probably. But to your point, like, the ultimate challenge for anybody in this league is to not let the narrative be told for you, and you not be able to address that with your own voice or directly with coach or whatever the case is.
Since that incident, Jonathan Kuminga has played 6 games, averaging 28.6 minutes per game. During this run, he's contributed an average of 18 points, 2 assists, and 5.3 rebounds per game. The youngster's also featuring more at crucial times, playing an average of 9.5 fourth-quarter minutes in his last 6 games. Bad players definitely don't get to play this much in a top-tier league like the NBA. And if we're being real with ourselves, Kuminga's not bad at all. On the contrary, he's actually very good and deserves more playing time. But these things are not exactly straightforward, especially on a team like the Golden State Warriors. As Steve Kerr said, there's a lot of competition in the team, so Kuminga would have to make the most of the minutes he's getting. And that's exactly what he's been doing in his last 3 games, where he averaged 24 points per game. This includes a career-high 28 points against the Milwaukee Bucks. Ironically, he didn't start any of those games, which shows his impact on the game even when he comes off the bench. In fact, the stats show that Kuminga contributes more points off the bench than he does as a starter. Also, his field goal percentage of 51.3% is ranked 35th in the entire league, and his usage rate has also gone up from 19.5 in the 2022-23 season to 23.3 this season. So there's absolutely no doubt as to whether he's improved this season or not. But considering his potential, I believe he's still playing well below his ceiling, which is scary for the rest of the league. If he continues to improve his game like he's done this season, he could go on to become one of the best African NBA players in the league's history. Most people probably don't see him in that light yet, and that's fine because not everyone knows what a diamond looks like in its raw form. Now, it's up to him to continue to work hard and keep his head down so he doesn't end up like one of his former teammates. In case you're wondering, that former teammate was in a similar situation as Kuminga last year when it looked like he could become the next star of the team. But after a series of intriguing controversies, he was traded away, and so far, he hasn't been performing up to expectations. So check out this deep dive where I'll explain everything that's going on with Kuminga's old friend.